Hello and welcome back to another video. Now, I thought in this video we'd be doing something completely different, and that is taking the political compass map, which will hopefully kind of determine where I am on the political compass. Am I left or right? Am I authoritarian or libertarian? We shall see. Alright, just a few prepositions to start with, considering no less how you see the country and the world. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Yeah, I'd say I agree with that. Should probably... Actually, yeah, I strongly agree with that. It should primarily serve humanity rather than transnational corporations. I'd always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. Yes, I would, definitely. No one chooses his or her country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. I disagree. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races. No way. No way. And this is especially controversial during this time, obviously, with the death of George Floyd just now, and all of these protests happening right now over race happening in the U.S. And so I strongly disagree with that. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I disagree with that. I don't think so. Because, I mean, they could be. I mean, if my enemy happens to be a jerk, and their enemy happens to be a jerk, most likely they're probably a jerk to me, too. So I disagree with that. Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Okay, yeah, going back. A lot of these are resonating right now. Once again, go back to the killing of George Floyd and all this other police brutality that's been happening in the United States. I don't think it's justified at all. It's not justified if you literally kneel on some guy's neck for 9 minutes until he dies. It's not justified at all. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I sort of agree. Actually, I disagree with that. Worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I don't think so. Okay, now the economy, okay. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Yeah, I agree with that. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. No, I strongly disagree with that. Yeah, I strongly disagree with that statement. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Yeah, I strongly agree with that. I mean, definitely. I mean, if they can't protect the environment, better regulate them. So they should. Coming from a vegetarian since birth, I've been a vegetarian my whole life, and I care a lot about the environment. So strongly agree with that. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. Yeah, I agree. The freer the market, the freer the people. Not necessarily. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's sad how we can basically take one thing that's pretty common, well, not common, pretty basic, like drinking water, and now we bottle it to ruin our environment. Out and I need water. I never end up bringing a plastic water bottle. I never buy it at the store or something like that. I always bring my own water bottle, reusable water bottle. That's a great thing to have. And all of you should have it. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I disagree with that. I disagree with that because, I mean, if it wasn't bought and sold, then what's going to happen? There's going to be a million people claiming one spot of land. And it would just be anarchy, basically. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to our society. Yeah, I agree with that. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. No, I don't think so. I think so. It should have more social responsibilities with that. Should communicate with its shareholders about certain things. The rich are too highly taxed. Strongly disagree. Strongly disagree with that. I mean, if one thing, it's the poor who are too highly taxed. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. Strongly disagree. I mean, even though I live in America, I like the ideal that they have in Canada. Free healthcare for everyone. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, think about all this fake news that's around nowadays. It's going around nowadays. And, I think they should be punished for misleading the public about all this kind of stuff. Even though, actually, though, thinking about it, I mean, I guess there is such thing as freedom of the press. I mean, that's a whole thing in the Constitution. But I still think they should penalize it. And this is my own personal opinion. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with that. Uh, I don't think that a lot of people should be able to make monopolies, no matter how good the board game is. I think companies with monopolies are the greatest thing in the world. Abortion, when a woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. No, I strongly disagree with that. Abortion should be for any woman who wants it. Any woman who wants an abortion should be allowed. All authority should be questioned. I disagree with that. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. No, I disagree with that. I mean, it's the old someone hits you and you retaliate by hitting them back. I mean, that never helps the situation in any kind of way. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that could not survive on a commercial basis. That's a little weird question, but I disagree. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. No, I strongly disagree. I mean, people should be attending school. I think education should be mandatory for everyone, so they can learn. All sorts of people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep their own kind. Strongly disagree with that, too. They'll have to keep to their own kind. Alright, good parents sometimes have to spank their children. Strongly disagree once again. Yeah, no. I don't want to promote any kind of domestic violence in one's household, especially with children. I mean, spanking's not okay. Can we all agree with that? It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. Everyone's allowed to keep their own secrets. You don't have to reveal all of your secrets to your parents if you don't want to. Ooh, okay, this is an interesting one. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Okay, this is a difficult question. Now, I am very, very, very much anti-drugs. And even though I am anti-drugs, meaning I am not a fan of taking drugs, I can definitely understand recreational stuff like that. Definitely, I mean, I think, yeah, it should not be. I don't think it should be a criminal offense. Many states nowadays are kind of easing up on some of this stuff. I think it should be you choose if you want to possess marijuana or for that case, any other drug. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. Do I agree or disagree? I definitely don't strongly agree or disagree with this statement, but I don't think it's the prime function. I disagree with that. Okay. People of serious inheritable disability should not be allowed to reproduce. Oh god. Yeah, strongly disagree with that. There was a Supreme Court case I know with some person who was said to be insane, and by said to be, I mean, wasn't even proven at all that she was insane, and the state where she was living back then, I think still does. It's Virginia, I think, had this law about people with these disabilities not being able to have children. So they literally had to forcefully not allow her to have any children. And that's really unjust and extremely controversial. Okay, so I definitely strongly disagree with that. And actually, I'll put up on the screen the name of that case, because I don't quite remember it right now. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. No, that's not the most important thing at all. There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. Yeah, strongly agree with that. So there's no savages, whatever, people back in 18th century when they visited new places called wild tribes. They're just not savage. They're just different cultures. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. Yeah, I disagree with that. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Yeah, I agree with that. Whenever troubled in some sort of way. Now, obviously, I don't get troubled very often. I'm very fortunate, and I definitely take that for granted. I don't get troubled much, but even the small little things, it's best to just kind of take a little bit of a breather from it. First-generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. Strongly disagree. I mean, this is coming from a person whose own mom, first-generation immigrant from Ukraine. Well, back then the Soviet Union, but and I strongly disagree with that statement. I think they should definitely be able to be integrated within their new country as first-generation immigrants. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. Nah, I disagree with that. No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding. I disagree. Yeah, I disagree with that. Okay. Page 4 of 6. Okay, we only got a couple more. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Okay, now we're getting into some stuff about surveillance. Man, we're hitting a lot of deep topics today about stuff. I mean, I disagree with that. I think definitely in the near future, the surveillance stuff can get real creepy. And I mean, it might have already gotten creepy. I don't know if the government's spying on me right now. It's a little bit of a creepy thought, but I know over in China, there's a whole bunch of stuff about surveillance cameras out in public. I mean, it's an intrusion of public privacy, and even private privacy. And I think that not only wrongdoers need to be worried, I think a lot of people do. The death penalty should be an option for most serious crimes. Now, I mean, yeah, I disagree with this strongly because I feel like the death penalty, no matter how they do it, it's never gonna get better. No matter what new things they try, going from hanging to electric chair to gas chambers to lethal injections. No matter how they try it, I still think it's super cruel to just kill a person like that. And I actually personally think it's better if you just sentence them to prison for life. I mean, they deserve to suffer for in prison instead of just being killed on the spot like that. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything can be considered art. Now, I am an art lover, and I strongly disagree with that, because I think any kind of art, any form of expression like that, you can't just consider just a bunch of scribbles. You can't just consider a Jackson Pollock painting. It's hardly even discernible at all. Not art. I mean, anything like that is art. Art is a big, wide net of different things. I mean, you can put so many different kind of things under. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Oh, strongly disagree with that. I think if you can rehabilitate criminals, it's for the better. It's for the better, rather than punishment. Punishing doesn't help at all. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. I, once again, strongly disagree with that. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. Yeah, I agree with that. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. No, you don't have to make peace with the establishment. Young and wild. Still is technically being mature. Astrology accurately explains many things. Oh, no. Strongly disagree with that. You don't even have to explain why. You cannot be moral without being religious. No, strongly disagree. If people want to be atheists, they can be atheists. If people want to be religious, they can be religious. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Now, once again, going back to the statement, if you don't want religious stuff in your face, then you don't need it. And I think that at schools, they should just keep them non-religious. The same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. Yeah, I strongly agree with that. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Yeah, of course. You can't have the government spying on whatever goes on in a private bedroom. No one can feel naturally homosexual. No, strongly disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. No, I disagree with that. Okay, now let's see where you stand. Okay. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we can show, for example, Stalin, Mao Zedong, and Pol Pot as their commitment to a totally controlled economy on the hard left. Socialists like Mahatma Gandhi and Robert Mugabe would occupy a less extreme leftist position. Margaret Thatcher would be well over to the right, but Ferris still would be somewhat like the ultimate free marketeer, General Pinochet. Okay, so am I authoritarian left, authoritarian right, libertarian left, or libertarian right? We shall see. Look at that. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty left libertarian, and I'd say that's pretty accurate. I definitely put myself as a left-leaning libertarian. Very much the likes of someone like Mahatma Gandhi, as pictured right here. And yeah, it's pretty accurate. So economic left-right, I got negative 5.75. Social libertarian / authoritarian, negative 5.54. So, pretty much kind of in the middle of that. I'm going to end this video off by saying, hope you guys are all doing well during this time. And one more message about all the racism going on in this country, because obviously some of this conversation I had this episode was a little bit deep. I don't agree with any of the stuff that's going on, any of this police brutality, and I'm just gonna say this, Black Lives Matter, and I just went to a protest yesterday, and while I'm not the biggest protest guy, I strongly feel obliged to talk about this kind of thing. So, just want to say thank you guys very much for staying to the end of this extra long video today. And like I said, I've still been in a bit of a slump for video making recently. I've kind of run out of ideas. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.